All right, well, I'm back at it again with this 1968 Ford Mustang and its hot pink motor. Now today, the goal is to drop the transmission, because that is what went wrong on my last drive in this thing, which we'll get to that eventually. So I already have jack in place with a transmission adapter, and I opted out using the whole kit, the chains, the rails, and I just went with the main base plate and a ratchet strap, tie strap, because I don't think this C4 3-speed transmission really weighs that much. I went ahead and emptied the fluid, and the only thing that really has a lot of weight to it is the torque converter that's still full. But from there, we'll see what happens, huh? Okay, so I have the new flex plate installed, new bolts, torque to spec. Now it's time to install the transmission. Now when doing this, you'll notice on the flex plate itself, it has these big holes, and then these little holes. Well, the little holes are what actually bolts to the torque converter, and these big holes get aligned with, well, I think there's a drain hole, drain plug that is, on the torque converter. You'll see when I go to align the torque converter with the flex plate. So I'd like to talk about something about vehicles that I find not necessarily irritating, but amusing. And here's the thing. It does not matter if it's a Ford, a Chevy, a Dodge, a Toyota, a Nissan, a Dodge Viper, a Toyota Prius, a Ferrari, a Porsche, whatever the make and model is. The only thing that matters is what you like. You have the right to like whatever you want when it comes in life. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that doesn't mean that their opinion is right. Now watch my dumbass continue to work on this 1968 Ford Mustang. So I ran into a little bit of a snag here. As you can see, the jack with the transmission jack adapter is already all the way down. I don't really have the right setup in my garage to lift this car up as high as needed in order to get all this out from underneath the car. As you can see, I'm already maxed out on the jack stands up there. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just manhandle the transmission. That means we're going to take it completely off the jack and basically take the transmission out by hand. This should be fun. Alright, well, here goes nothing. Let's manhandle this transmission out. I did put my other jack in the front of the transmission to at least hold it up a little bit as I get the big one out of the way, because that just did not work how I expected it to. You know, I'm not a professional. I'm doing this by all means by myself. A little bit educated on how to actually remove a transmission. But you know what? That's how it goes. That's how I like to do it. So the goal is, I'm going to lift the tail end of the transmission up. I'm going to try to slide this big guy out of the way towards camera without hitting it. And Hopefully it all just doesn't come crumbling down. If not, we may just be buying a new transmission. But I don't think it's really going to hurt this old transmission, but let's see. Yeah, let's put our head right in the way, huh? That's the way to do it. Okay, the transmission's gonna want to go. One way or the other, it's coming down. Oh, that wasn't too bad. But now there's transmission fluid all over the place. And I'm kind of stuck. All right. Awesome. Not exactly how I wanted things to go, but whatever. Cool. Well, at least it's out for right now, and I gotta get out from underneath the car. That was not fun at all. But hey, that's fine. We got it out. A little bit of a mess on the floor, but that's what garages are for, right? Sweet. All right, well, round two with the transmission for this 68 Mustang. And this is what we have. A new flex plate. See how new that is? See how this is two pieces? See how this is one solid piece? That's the way they're supposed to look. Well, right on. I'd like to thank Richard for getting me an early Christmas present. Now this is the transmission jack I should have bought in the first place. You see how low this sits to the ground? The one I got just sat too high. That's why I uninstalled the transmission the way I did. In the last video, that is. This is pretty cool. Got these adjustments on the side. So you can actually tilt the transmission however which way you need to. It's got a ratchet strap to strap the transmission down, and then you just use your ratchet socket wrench here, whatever you want to call it, and it jacks the entire transmission jack up. So much appreciated there, Richard. Alright, well, here goes nothing. Don't worry, I tested the weight of this transmission. And although I'm not the strongest person in the world, I think I'm able to actually lift it up off the ground. And that is how you get a hernia. I'm just kidding. So now we just strap it down. So it doesn't move anywhere. And then on to actually installing it. Pretty cool. All right, so I got the transmission and the transmission jack in place, ready to go. But I'm going to stop for today because I have a tendency of rushing things. And that is why I am in the situation I am right now. Because when you rush things, you forget every little step that you have to do when it comes to, well, pretty much anything. So I'll pick it up tomorrow and we'll go from there. Okay, well, day 2 on installing the transmission with the new flex plate. As you can see, I have my trusty heater on over there, as trusty as it gets. And I'm ready to embark on a journey that no man has ever gone before. Actually, I'm sure thousands of men and women have gone before, but that's besides the point. Let's get to it. So as you can tell, I got the transmission in place. Most of the bolts are in. I got the cross member on. And I got this one last nut to put on the flex plate. Now there's no easy way of doing this. The way I'm doing it is I'm using a crowbar, pry bar, putting it on the flex plate, pressing down just so I could torque that nut. And hopefully it all works out. Use a little bit of Loctite. You know, hopefully I don't have to do this again anytime soon, because this wasn't really easy. I mean, it's not like I don't know what I'm doing, to a point, but it's never fun having to drop a transmission, especially a pink one. So we get it hand tight, as tight as you can, without spinning the flex plate. And then switch over to the torque wrench. So you can't really see, but that's at 50 pounds. I didn't quite find the right torque setting for these nuts, so I just went with 45 to 50 pounds. All right. So hold down on the and of course the camera's in the way. We're gonna have to scoot it back a little. Hold down on the pry bar. Now, you'll know when it's torqued to spec that you have set on your torque wrench when you hear a click. This is not easy, that's for damn sure. I'm actually going to relocate this. Hold down. Shit. And drop the camera. That's okay. Yeah, there we go. 50 foot-pounds. Last nut to the flex plate, torqued. Whew. All right, well, what started this session, I guess you'd call it, on working on this 68 Mustang yet again, is back in place and fixed with all new parts. Now, I'm not going to show everything, but I have to reinstall the exhaust on one side, spark plug wires, drive line, cooling lines for the transmission, and just a couple miscellaneous things like the starter. Well, actually the starter's in place. Now I got to reconnect the terminal. That's actually a good thing to do when you're working on vehicles. Just disconnect anything that has to do with the battery, because you never know what is going to happen when it comes to grounding out the entire system. All right, let's do this. Don't forget your door handle. So, let's recap here for a minute. New flex plate, new bolts, torque down to spec, thread locker. We have fuel. We have enough transmission fluid. We have a decent charged battery. What could go wrong? Fuel pump on. Let's do this. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about. Right on. We still got a little bit of wobble going on, which is not really good. But we'll have to watch that. Other than that, this 68 Mustang's good to go again. Hell yeah.